Hello, and welcome to this semester's first episode of Montclair News Lab. I'm Ava Scott. We're here right outside of Cole Hall, where despite the weather, we're kicking off Homecoming 2024. We have full coverage of all the exciting events, from the football game to a live cooking with Koppell. We start with News Lab's Sean Thrunk, who has the best assignment of all: sample the variety of Homecoming 2024.
Even the rain can't stop homecoming. It's a day that has something for everyone, whether it's balloon animals, games, food, or studying algae, which is what caught the attention of Aya Jackson. Her mother is Montclair alum Haran Benson.
I get to show her where I went to school. So she goes, "Isn't that where you used to live, Mom?" Yes, that's where I used to live. And I just showed her the floor I used to live on and how different it used to look 20 years ago. It's just to have those talks and special time with her.
Cameron Marr is a first-generation freshman and was excited to show his mother the campus.
It's important because it's also her first homecoming too. It feels weird because I'm living by myself for a while. So it's like I'm showing her that I can do it.
It feels really good because it's part of my accomplishments that kind of pass off to him. So now he has to go and spread his wings and find his little knick-and-knack and place to go.
Some kids will rely on their parents for a bit longer. 15-month-old Amelia Hanauer came to homecoming with her parents, Ian and Jamie. They fell in love at Montclair and cannot wait for her to become a Red Hawk.
We already bought her a Montclair State Bear. She's got a onesie at home, so we're trying to make her a Red Hawk. I definitely think we're going to be going over to the football game a little bit later.
The Hanauers were not alone at that game. 3,256 people were in attendance to watch the Red Hawks beat Union 17-15.
Well, we had such a good time on campus, so every homecoming we always try to come back. We always try to make sure that we give back to the university, and we wanted to share our memories with our little one here, and hopefully one day she'll be a Red Hawk.
Where some parents are eager, others can wait a bit longer.
She started to say that, so when I go to college, which I'm like, well, first, Aya, you have to make it to first grade at least, but it is important to start having those conversations so that she knows that this exists. Giving her this exposure is awesome.
No rainy day could ever stop the special family fun that is Montclair Homecoming. For Montclair News Lab, I'm Sean Thrunk.
To celebrate the launch of the second season of Cooking with Koppell, which streams on our very own streaming service, Hawk Plus, Montclair President Jonathan Koppell teamed up with Montclair alumnus and Blues Clues host Joshua Dela Cruz. My assignment, bring you the flavor of this sold-out event.
The first live Cooking with Koppell took center stage in Presentation Hall, featuring special guest Joshua Dela Cruz.
It's homecoming, so we thought, what better way to do it than to have you come back and introduce yourself and talk about your experiences.
The 2011 alumnus, best known for his work on Nickelodeon's Blues Clues and You, and Broadway shows such as Aladdin, returned to campus to fulfill his cooking dreams.
And I've always loved cooking shows. I've always wanted to do one, and so when they said, "Would you like to be on the show?" I was like, yes, of course I would love to be on the show.
President Koppell and Dela Cruz worked to recreate Dela Cruz's signature family recipe, Filipino spaghetti.
It's a comfort food. There's spaghetti and banana sauce, which is banana ketchup. And what's really interesting about this dish is that I think, perfectly exemplifies what it means for me to be Filipino American.
In keeping with Dela Cruz's vegan lifestyle, the dish was completely plant-based.
So my wife and I became plant-based 8 years ago. It was a decision to try and curtail some health issues that are on both sides of our family. It was around the same time that we got Ollie, our first dog, and that's when I started to really become aware and think of animals in that way.
One of the highlights of the event was Dela Cruz discussing his role as Josh on Blues Clues and You.
So how can we get home with eyes, close, and think?
One of my favorite things that I've heard is that friends and friends of friends will be like, my kid pointed at the screen and said, he looks like me. That's something that I didn't really experience growing up, especially in this way where the Asian person wasn't doing martial arts or was the butt of the joke. I hope that whatever kids take away and carry with them for the rest of their adult life, I hope that our show and my version of the show can help them become confident people, caring people, that they are better because of the show.
It's what parents like Marissa and Jeffrey Gramada want their children to get out of Blues Clues.
Big surprise. He didn't know he was coming today to meet Josh, so we surprised him.
Dela Cruz credits much of his success on his Montclair community.
The supportive environment gives you confidence to take risks and to be brave. If you can build the confidence to be comfortable with making mistakes, that was invaluable for me.
Dela Cruz's supportive environment also resonated with fellow Montclair alumni.
I think Josh's experience made me think about how this place truly changes lives, and it made my journey at Montclair much more special.
At the end of the event, after President Koppell's live tasting,
Be super silent and just watch somebody at least slurp spaghetti.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
the audience had a chance to try Dela Cruz's Filipino spaghetti, and so did we.
Cheers.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
It's good.
It actually is really good.
The delicious dish truly captured the lively spirit of the event.
Win or lose, it takes a talented army of students to put on a successful game day. Santi Calle Cifuentes brings us an insider's look at how the Red Hawks Sports Network captures all the action from the control room to the sidelines.
For the past 4 years, Red Hawk Sports Network has been covering the annual homecoming football game, which is streamed live on Hawk Plus. Planning for this game started over the summer, with setup beginning days in advance, well before any homecoming festivities began.
This is the biggest production we do in the semester. All of the field, the football field, is fibered, is cabled back to the School of Communication and Media.
The production involved 10 cameras, a full control room, and a host set on the field.
Then we have the full game, we have interviews, we have features.
Roll track.
Montclair senior Ryan Tullio has been directing this production since he was a junior.
The role of the director is the creative lead. I will be calling out shots.
The zoom's going to be different.
In your headset.
Asking and telling cameras to frame players or locations. Sometimes whether it's the flag or a specific player that we're looking for.
It's going to be a great day if the weather holds out. Look, I really couldn't have said it any
In addition to that, I'm following script and a rundown in order to make sure that the show is keeping on schedule and on pace.
Ryan has to be ready for any issues that may arise. For instance, when the cameras briefly went to black in the middle of the pregame show.
Things are going to happen, but the more focused you are and the more prepared you are, less mistakes, the better show, and better result.
The production wouldn't have been possible without camera operators like Michael Kirk, who stood outside in the rain all day.
Mainly our job is to record what's going on live in the game, but also there's a lot of setup involved. It involves us wrapping cables, doing a lot more than people think. It's not like control room and stuff like that, but it's more just so we could broadcast the game live. It's our biggest production of the year, so it's definitely a stressful environment, but once you get rolling, it gets easier.
Following Montclair's triumphant win, the production crew broke down the field late into the night, concluding this production until our next homecoming. For Montclair News Lab, I'm Santiago Calle Cifuentes.
One of the highlights of homecoming is the talent showcase, where Red Hawks get to show off their many talents. Our very own Ella Rising was a part of this year's showcase.
This is my favorite part of homecoming because my sorority sisters and I get to dance together. The Homecoming Showcase is really a dance competition that pits organizations in a friendly manner against each other. This year's theme was Pixar.
Good job. Fun fact.
These moves don't happen overnight. We practice for weeks in parking garages and in the amphitheater. Spencer Dunphy is the Vice President of Programming for Delta Phi Epsilon. She says it's not just dancing and the dancers talk to the audience.
So the Homecoming Showcase is an annual thing the school puts on every year where the day of homecoming, Saturday morning/afternoon, orgs all across campus perform a dance. And not only do we show our creativity and our dancing abilities, but we also talk about all the awesome resources at Montclair State and all the facilities, and it's a great time for everyone. It's always really entertaining.
In the dance, we actually have a lot of speaking parts that showcase the multiple number of resources that we have on campus, as well as community service.
Drew Russo is a sophomore computer science major and a member of Delta Chi. This is his first homecoming.
When we started doing this dance, Spencer really made it easy for me to meet new people, make new connections, and I feel every night I come here, I'm just more and more grateful to have the opportunity to dance with the girls and even my brothers. And I treasure it a lot, honestly. And I'm very thankful. That's really all it comes down to. I'm very thankful for the experience, and I can't wait to do it again.
The winner is then announced after the football game.
In first place, the winners are Delta Chi.
It's so much fun, and our sorority won first place. Weeks of preparation, one rainy day dancing, and a lot of great memories. For Montclair News Lab, this is Ella Rising.
That wraps up our first episode of Montclair News Lab from the middle of Homecoming 2024. I'm Ava Scott. Thank you for watching.